the Halo Needler, probably the funnest Covenant weapon to use in all the Halo games. And today, guys, we're going to be counting down the top 5 Halo Needlers. Coming in at number 5, we have the Halo 2 Needler. Now, this Needler has two options. You can just run around this with solo, or you can dual wield this weapon. Now, solo is not ideal. I mean, the tracking on this Needler is very, very bad. It is not very good. The only really way you can really get kills with this weapon is if your target is standing still, or how you have kind of a clear line of sight and such. Now, using this solo is not ideal, and it is very ineffective, to say the least. Now, where this weapon really kicks off is when you start dual wielding this. Now, this is the only Halo game where you are able to dual wield the Needlers, and it is pretty much the only effective way to use the Needler in Halo 2 anyway. You know the saying 2 is better than 1? Well, this is definitely the case with the Halo 2 Needler. I mean, again, the tracking is very it's all over the place. I mean, again, you definitely have to have that line of sight. You definitely can't be shooting an enemy while he's running around and dodging your bullets, because you know what, you're not going to be able to get the kill. If you it kind of has to be a little bit more of a long range situation, and you kind of have to have that line of sight. But where this weapon can really melt through people is while dual wielding. You can do kind of a little bit of a burst fire. If you do kind of a little burst fire with both, and all those needles hit at once, it will explode and you will get the kill, and you will be able to melt through people. Definitely better options out there than the Needlers, but it's definitely a usable weapon, and when dual wielding, there's a little bit more options there. And that's why the Halo 2 Needler is coming in at number 5. Coming in at number 4, we have the Halo Reach Needler. Now, this Needler the tracking is good on it. It's definitely better than the Halo 2 Needler. Really, again, when it comes to tracking, if your target is running, you're not going to be able to land your shots. Now, in Halo Reach, you definitely have that sprint option, or you just walk around the map just like any normal classic Halo game. The needles will follow where you shoot if you are locked onto that enemy. They will definitely have a better tracking in landing those shots. So, I mean, it's not the greatest tracking in the world, but it's definitely doable, and it has that little bit better tracking. Now, where this Needler falls short a little bit is where the shields. Now, the Halo Reach shields are like needle repellent a little bit. If you have full shields, you will be able to repel more needles than if you don't. Now, if you have a well-placed grenade, though, and take down an enemy shield, you will be able to melt through people, absolutely melt through people. So it really depends on the scenario and what situation you are at. And again, this is the same with the needle rifle a little bit. Again, that is a whole different weapon and a whole different story there. But again, if you have no shields and you have the needle rifle, you'll be able to melt through people. Same thing with the regular Needler in Halo Reach. If you, again, no shields, you'll be able to melt through people. It takes about 12 needles to to blow somebody up with full shields in Halo Reach. So, just kind of a recap, the tracking is good. You can definitely do it unless the enemy is sprinting. You can definitely have a bigger field of view a little bit with this Needler with tracking. The damage is okay, but again, the shields kind of dictate the damage a little bit. Again, each scenario is going to be a little different, and again, it takes about 12 needles to blow somebody up with full shields. That's why the Halo Reach Needler is coming in at number 4. Coming in at number 3, we have the Halo 3 Needler. Now, this Needler is very, very good. It is definitely a great sidearm to have. Now, this Needler tracking is very, very good. Now, again, long range to mid range, it is good. It will definitely track your enemy if you're moving and if they're moving, and if you're accurate with it, you can definitely land those shots and blow up your enemy. But again, if short range is a little bit better, you can definitely won't be able to. I mean, you can definitely do it short range. You can definitely have those shots, but again, you're going to be wasting a lot more ammo than you are going to be actually landing on the target. It's definitely doable, and it's definitely able to kind of have those short one-on-one scenarios. But again, if your opponent is very, very good with the BR, you're not going to be able to have a good chance. I mean, it's definitely doable, but it's not ideal, I guess to say. But again, it is a very, very good sidearm to use. And why it is a good sidearm to use is where this Needler starts melting through people is the splash damage. Now, this Needler has probably the best splash damage in any of the Halo games. This will, if you have a good group, if you see like they're kind of sticking together a little bit, they're kind of working as a team, grab the Needler, because if you have a scenario where they're in mid, or again, the scenario will change, you can definitely focus on one good target that's in the good cluster of people, and you can definitely land those shots and blow them up, because it's not going to blow up all of them, but it'll definitely, that splash damage will take off their shields, and you can definitely pull out your BR and do some cleanup work. And again, if you are kind of shooting an enemy and they're kind of having maybe an enemy or a teammate or two by them, you can definitely, it will definitely blow up like nearby grenades, nearby explosives, and it'll definitely help you get those double kills, or easy cleanups for days. That's where really where the Halo 3 Needler starts kicking in and starts melting through people, is because of the splash damage. So again, a little recap: the tracking is good. It's great-ish, kind of long range and mid range. You can definitely track in while moving and such, but again, you definitely have to be accurate with it and such. But again, it's not very good short range. It's definitely doable, and you can definitely get kills, but it's just not ideal, I guess to say. Damage wise is good. It's really good. It takes about 8 needles to kill to blow up an enemy with full shields, so the damage is really good in that sense. And again, the splash damage is really where this Needler starts kicking butt. So again, that's why the Halo 3 Needler's coming in at number 3. Coming in at number 2, we have the Halo 5 Needler. Now this Needler is very good. Again, the tracking is great, short and long range and mid. Now this Needler is, again, where it kind of falls short a little bit is, I mean, the damage on it is good, but it's going to take a few more shots to definitely blow up the enemy. It takes about 8 to full or it takes, again, it's similar to Halo 3. It takes about 8 needles full shields, but you have to be, those 8 needles have to directly impact the target. I mean, it's definitely doable and it's definitely good, but I mean, you definitely have to be accurate with it. If you're just kind of spraying and praying a little bit, you're not going to land those shots and you're not going to get those kills. But I mean, it's definitely very good, and it's definitely better than the Halo 3. But again, the splash damage compared to the Halo 3 is not the greatest, but again, this weapon is very good short and long range. You can definitely go all throughout the game and just have a Needler as a sidearm again and just kind of melt through people. Again, there are better options such as the BR or assault rifle in some scenarios, but you can definitely have this weapon and use this weapon as a main weapon if you so choose. Where this kind of Needler goes a little bit better than the Halo 3 Needler and where it really starts becoming effective is when is taking out vehicles. Now, you're not going to be able to blow up vehicles obviously with this Needler, but you're be able to take out enemies in the vehicles. Now, if you have scenarios where, I know I've had so many scenarios where I'm 1v1ing this ghost that's heading straight at me, and unless you have a clear line of sight of where I'm going to escape, you're going to fail every time, unless you have a good like plasma pistol or something, or again the Needler. If you have the Needler, you can definitely dodge those incoming vehicles and take out the driver or a gunner with like a Warthog or such, and you can definitely take down those vehicles and be able to not blow them up and reuse those vehicles maybe for a teammate or yourself or something like that. But that's really where this Needler comes in handy, because I've had so many times where I'm just kind of moving towards the objective or moving towards the where they're spawning and such, and I see a teammate struggling with a Warthog or a Ghost, and I have a Needler, and I come in and I help that teammate by taking out that driver or the gunner and such, and it's just a beautiful thing because it's teamwork, and teamwork makes the dream work, and you can either take that vehicle for yourself or let your opponent take it, or both hop in a Warthog, and it's just a great thing. That's really where the Halo 5 Needler really comes in handy. But again, overall, if you're just kind of playing Slayer, this Needler is a very good option as well. Again, just a little recap: the tracking is good, short and long range. The damage is good. It takes a few extra shots though in certain scenarios, but it's definitely doable. Again, it's about 8 needles, full impact, and shields and such. So, and again, vehicles is where this Needler really comes in handy. So that's why the Halo 5 Needler is coming in at number 2. Last but not least, coming in at number 1, we have the Halo 4 Needler. Now, this Needler is the best Needler out of any Halo game. This Needler will melt through people. This Needler is very good. Now, the tracking is great. Now, short and mid-range, it is very good. You will definitely be able to destroy enemies and melt through them, but a little bit not so much long range. I mean, it's definitely doable, but the needles kind of, as it travels through distance, they will definitely slow down a little bit, I've noticed, and they will definitely not hit the target in the time you would like them to, and it definitely gives the enemy time to dodge and such. And it's doable, but it's not, I mean, again, short and mid-range is really where this Needler comes in handy. I mean, it's definitely doable long range again. But anyway, so the damage on this weapon is the greatest out of any Halo game. Now, it takes about 7 needles to pull up an enemy with full shields, but it only takes about 6 to take down their shields. And I definitely want to come back to that, so remember that. So again, mid-range and short range is great, long is not so good, but the damage is crazy good. But where this Needler falls short a little bit is the ammo count. They don't give you any ammo in this gun. Now, if you can definitely have 2 Needlers, I mean, not dual wielding because that's not possible, but if you grab the Needler on one end and then you go around and grab the Needler on the other end, you will definitely have ammo and you will definitely be able to shred through people. But that doesn't mean you can't be conservative. You definitely have to use those Needlers, and you have to be accurate with those, because those Needles are precious and such. And I mean, you jump into a Halo 4 game, you're not going to see very many people grab the Needler because not a lot of people know how to use it and know how great this weapon is. But again, once you watch this video, you're going to be able to go into Halo 4 and be able to melt through people because you're going to know that this Needler is good here and here and here and such. So hopefully I've helped you guys a little bit. When you guys jump into your next Halo 4 match, you'll be able to grab that Needler and just melt through people and see how great this weapon is. So again, where this weapon falls short is the ammo count a little bit, but again, if you can grab both Needlers, you definitely have a little bit more ammo. Now, again, where this Needler comes in handy a little bit more is if you're like me, and if you're like any other Halo player, if you have like an assault rifle or a battle rifle or something like that, and you're very, very low on ammo, you have like, what, 5 shots or something like that, depending on the gun, you definitely want to pick up a different weapon and to get those kills and to continue with your streak or whatever you may be doing, and you definitely want to have that ammo. But with the Halo 4 Needler, you definitely want to run this thing dry before you switch it out, because say you only have like 5, 6 shots, 7 shots or something like that. I mean, if you have 7, if you land them all, you can definitely still get the kill, but if you have maybe like 4 or 5, you can still, like, if an enemy is low, you can definitely still land those shots, and definitely it will destroy their shields, and you will definitely be able to just have some easy cleanup work for days. I mean, you definitely want to run this thing dry before you switch it out. Now, I mean, that's not stopping you from switching it out, but that's a little tip from me saying, hey, don't switch it out until you fully use this weapon, because it is crazy powerful, it's crazy good, and you definitely want to get all out of it before you switch out the weapon. And so again, that's where the Halo 4 Needler comes in at number 1. Anyway guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Now again, before this video ends, I just want to give a quick shout out to JS47 Gaming. He helped me kind of get a little bit more stats and kind of go more in depth with this video, and I really appreciate him. Big shout out to him. Links will be in the description down below to his channel and social links and such. Anyway guys, that's really it for me for today. Let me know in the comments down below what your top 5 Halo Needlers are. Anyway guys, love you guys to death. That's it for me for today. If you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button. If more Halo videos, hit that subscribe button. I love you guys to death. That's all for me for today. I'm out guys. Peace.